Hi, I'm going to show you how to make scent samples for Scentsy. The first thing you're going to need, of course, is your brick of wax. This month is cranberry muffin. You're going to need molds. I use 3 different molds. I have a hexagonal one. I have, we call this one the chiclet. It's kind of a rectangle-y mold. And then I have some melt-away circle molds. You're also going to need baggies of some sort. The ones for jewelry work good. They're 2 inches by 3 inches. You can get them in packages like this or in boxes like this. Either way is up to you. You're also going to need stickers that tell what the scent of the month is. This one's pre-printed. It says cranberry muffin, scent of the month, and then has my information on it so people can order. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your brick. And I'm going to back up just a little so that you can see. You're going to take your brick, you're going to open it, and you're going to pop at least one section out. I'm making a lot of samples today, so I'm going to end up using a bunch. So I've broken out 1 cube. Then I'm going to take a butter knife, and a butter knife works just fine, and I'm going to cut the cube into smaller pieces. You can cut them in half, you can cut them in half again, but I have a special measuring cup that I forgot to tell you you needed that actually says Scentsy on it just in case my husband tries to steal it. So I'm going to put 2 cubes in half in my measuring cup at a time. And I'm going to put it in the microwave, and I'm going to start it off at 30 seconds. 30 seconds kind of melts it, but doesn't all the way melt it, but I'm going to show you a little trick that I figured out with that. So while you're melting your wax in the microwave, you can start sticking labels on your bags that you're going to use. I do this periodically throughout so that I'm not putting labels on 100 bags all at one time. And it's just easier to stick the labels on when there's not wax in the bags. So once they're on, they'll look kind of like this. I use this baggie because I staple it to my business card. And some people buy a little bit larger baggie and they actually stick their business card in the baggie with it. But I figure if your baggie and your business card are separate, if they don't like the scent, they'll still keep your business card. So you'll see after 30 seconds in the microwave, it really didn't do much to the wax other than now it smells good. I'm going to put it back in, but this time I'm going to put it for a minute just because it's cool out today and because I put so much wax in the measuring cup. Grab the pot holder for when it comes out, and like I said, while it's going, just keep sticking stickers on your Ziploc bags so you have them ready. I'm planning on making at least 120 samples today. I printed out 120 labels already. I might have to do a reprint later, so we'll see how that goes. Now that the weather is getting cooler outside, it's a lot easier to use the scent samples. When it was hot out, when you would mail them away or leave them in your car on accident, it kind of got messy because our wax melts at such a low temperature. And I apologize for not looking directly at the camera. It's kind of hard when it's a webcam. Okay, it's almost done. Not that hot, but as you can see, it's starting to melt in the bottom. I have some liquid. What I like to do is I like to spin the cup for a minute. That gives the wax kind of a little bit of a rest, but it also encourages some of the wax that didn't melt to melt. So as you can see, I'm just kind of spinning it around. It's obviously not going to melt the rest of it by just doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back in. I think 30 seconds this time should be good. And I'm back here sticking stickers on my baggies. And a good thing to do now is to decide which mold I'm going to use. I have the hexagon one is my newest mold, and I haven't used this one yet. So I'm kind of curious. I think it's going to be the first one I use today. When you set it down on your counter, it doesn't always sit flat, so I pour from the middle to kind of make it flatten out and make it have a better chance of spreading out into the other holes. I'm just going to spin my cup. When you melt your wax, when you get down to the very end of it in the microwave, you may have some chunks that didn't melt, but as long as they're smaller than your mold, you can pour them into your mold and it won't, make a difference. It'll just re-solidify with the melted wax around it. See, still I have big chunks. This is definitely something you want to do when you have a little bit of free time, because it does take a little while. As you can see, it's almost melted. There's still a couple chunks. This scent actually looks like melted butter. It's the cranberry muffin, so it smells pretty good. It smells like cake batter with a little fruit in it. Alright, this one may need like another 15 seconds. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move the webcam so that you can actually see what I'm doing as far as pouring. I'll try and angle it down at the mold. Alright, still spinning it just a little. There are some small chunks in here, but I think they'll be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start pouring. I push down a little in the middle just because I want it to pour nicely. If you'll notice, it kind of spreads out on its own into the cavities. If you pour too fast, you will pour over the sides, which I just did over here. I kind of caught it before it got bad. Like I said, if you pour too fast, it will go off. And this mold is new, so of course it's got too much flex in it. So it needs a little encouragement. But for now, I'm satisfied with what I filled in here. So I'm going to let it sit for a minute. If you notice the wax on my counter, I'm not sure if you can see it or not. It's an overflow. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scoop it back up and put it back in my measuring cup and use it again. And something that works great for that is the Pampered Chef scrapers. Work really good to get melted wax up. This hasn't quite solidified enough to be pulled up yet. When it has, it will come immediately up. But basically that's it. When it's cool, it takes anywhere from 30 minutes to a couple hours to cool, depending on the temperature in your house. I would even say a couple hours, maybe 30 minutes to an hour. To completely cool and solidify. When it does, you flip it over, you break the mold, pop them out, put them in the Ziploc bags that you already have labeled, and you're set to go. And that's it.